What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to the Aces High podcast. We're your hosts, Mariah and Ty. Ty, happy Tuesday. How you doing,
What's
my guy?
up? I'm doing
What
good.
up?
How are you?
Oh, just melting over here, surviving hardly, but
Uh-huh.
we're all right. Doing okay. Chat, what's up? Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody is doing
New.
great. I know it's a different day this week. Just a this week thing. We didn't want to. There was a lot going on this week, and we didn't want to just skip the show completely. So we're like, we'll just reschedule for Tuesday. So here we are. But yeah, week 8 of the WNBA officially in the books. Week 8 of the podcast. We're rolling right along
Nice.
here.
I know, right? It's pretty
Like
cool.
officially halfway point of the WNBA. Olympic break is coming up soon. So yeah, there's quite a few, things. We got the All-Star game. The All-Star team was announced, so we'll get into that. We have some rookies breaking records, so we're definitely going to get into that. Our very own Las Vegas finest, Asia Wilson, breaking records of her own.
Right.
So we're
Making
for
history.
sure we'll get to that. Yes. A lot of great games this past week. So yeah, a lot to talk about. Chats, what's up? Hope everybody's doing great. Throwback, first in the door. Appreciate you as always.
What up, my guy?
Who we got here? Oh, well, he was first in the door yesterday, but this is a new day. So now Don's first in the door today. Appreciate you, Don. Let me see. I don't want to. I'm so bad with names, you guys, and I hate screwing up names. So let me see. Ty, you go for it.
Is that Nikila? I'm going to say Nikila. I hope I'm right, but I'm trying. Nikila Dodds.
We'll see. Let us know, so we're not just butchering your name. But welcome. Right. Appreciate you coming through. There's Throwback back in the building. Maria, I was starting to think Maria was mad at me. She hasn't been showing up. I don't know.
Oh, what's up with that?
She wins all the prizes and then doesn't show up anymore.
Take the prizes and run. Look at that.
I know. So mean. But here she is. Dina, what's up, Dina?
What's going on?
You. So yeah, everybody else that watches back, that's out there, that's not in chat, what's up? Appreciate you all. Appreciate everybody that comes through. Ty, let the good people know where to find you on your new channel, please.
Yeah, man. If you want to know everything about women's hoops, women's soccer, it's all going down. The She Got Game Network. Just go in. It's on the banner there. Just go in, like, subscribe. There's a whole lot going on.
There you have it. It's also in the description box of this video. So the link's right there. All you have to do is open it, click on it. Nice and easy for you guys. So can't be complaining that, such hard work. It's free. It's so easy.
Right. It's just a click.
Real quick, let me pull you guys up this info too. I don't want to screw it up. So let me pull it up real fast. Also in the description box of this video is the website to get Faithful gear from Inspector Dabbit. It's at www.faithfulgear209.com. Use code 49faithful for $5 off your purchase. Now, if you go to the website, you're going to see a lot of 49ers gear, right? Because that's what he started in. That's his main thing is 49ers. However, he can make anything you want, any sports, WNBA, NBA, baseball, whatever, football, any other teams. It doesn't have to be the 49ers. It doesn't have to be the Aces. It can be any team, any player, whatever you want. Hit him up. If it's not in the store, he can make it for you. He creates everything, draws everything on his own. So it's all original artwork. Great stuff. Shirts, hoodies, tank tops, it's hella hot. So get your tank tops. He got cups, coffee cups, pictures, anything that you can think of that you could put, pillows, bags, like anything that you could put a picture on, he's able to do it. So make sure you guys get in contact with him if you want anything. Like I said, the info is also in the description of this video. Nice and easy for you guys. So yeah, hit him up if you want some gear. Football season is coming up too, so
around the corner.
that's time to get gear for that as well. Steve-O, what's up? Good to see you. Says, watch me on TV Sunday at the celebrity golf tourney. Oh, so we're going to have to start getting Steve-O's autograph, I guess.
You know.
Hey, Kelly. What's good? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Dawn says she subscribed to your new page.
Thank you, Dawn. Dawn's
all right.
She
is a real one. Let me pull this up and let's start with this. Before I have some press conferences pulled as well, different things. Angel Reese, when she finds out that she made the All-Star team, great little clip there of her. Yep. I have a little bit of the press conference, Asia Wilson talking about breaking the records. I have Becky Hammond talking about Asia Wilson. I have Chelsea Gray talking about Asia Wilson. You know, can't get too much of Asia Wilson, but let's start off with this clip and then we will get into Asia Wilson. Because I thought this was pretty cool. The Aces page. The Aces team that, you know, runs their social media, they're a pretty good team. They put out a lot of content. So, you know, I give them their flowers because they do a great job over there.
They pump out a lot of stuff. Let me add this
up here.
And make it fun, too.
Yeah, they do. All right.
All season long, so patient. She's been so good all season long, so patient. The energy that she plays with is tremendous.
Just another night at the office, like we take it for granted, but we're watching one of the greatest players of all time in front of our eyes.
And she's just been so good with that face-up move.
Asia's always a good answer, right?
Asia is always a good answer.
Now fans understanding, like when you're coming, you're seeing somebody that's going to be in the Hall of Fame soon. So celebrating that as she's continuing to get better and break records.
And it's not just her scoring, it's also her defense, leading the league in blocks per game.
I think that's like 28 is like, oh yes, Asia had 28. Like that's just like a normal day at the office. That's absurd.
I mean, how many times have we seen her cross over a guard or something?
Uh-oh! Rotation! Count
it! You know, moving forward that we're like, it's a unanimous vote this year.
That's right. It's a unanimous vote this year. You know, shout out Kelsey Plum. We're definitely going to talk about her in a little while as well. But shout out to her throwing the shade there on, you know, that's for those that don't know, Asia Wilson last year. She didn't win MVP because one voter decided to give her a fourth place vote. And she continued to ride that fourth place vote right into the championship and bring home the trophy and the MVP trophy from the finals. So, you know, that's what Kelsey's there throwing shade that, you know, there's no way Asia can't be a unanimous MVP this year, because so far, halfway through the season, nobody is, you know, putting up the numbers that she is. So this last game, you know, we'll get into the Aces games, but before we get into that and break it down, this last game against the Wings, it was the alumni day. So the Aces had past players. Now, obviously, the Las Vegas Aces haven't been around for too long, but prior to them moving here, you know, they were other teams. So they were the Utah Stars
Utah Stars, yep.
And then somebody
San Antonio. San Antonio Silver Stars,
yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So, you know, we you know, they take all the past players from both of those teams, and now, you know, we represent them as well as, you know, coming to the Las Vegas Aces. So they flew out, all these past players, obviously brought them into the game. They did a little ceremony for them at the game. Pretty cool. Asia breaks the record at this game with the lady, that she's passing for the record in attendance without anybody knowing that this was even going to happen. Asia herself said she didn't even know until I think it was like AC brought it up like at halftime or something, and she's like, oh, like Asia was like, if I would have known, I would, like that her parents were mad because they weren't there to see it. And she's like, I didn't even know, if I would have known, I would have had you guys here. So, it wasn't nothing that was planned. It just happened to fall perfectly into place with the alumni in the building. So yeah, give me your thoughts on Asia Wilson breaking that record as I pull up this rest of these videos.
Yeah, it's a monumental achievement, right? Because like you just mentioned, the franchise, excuse me, the actual franchise has been around since the beginning of the WNBA. So you have, this is year 28, right? You have 28 years of play to go from. And here you have this player who sets the all-time scoring record in just her, 7th year, I believe it is. That's a monumental thing. And it showed you, just her excellence over the years. And it's great that it happened on Alumni Day. I want to take a second to give kudos to Mark Davis, because ever since he brought the team, he has embraced the history of the team and has done everything he can to celebrate, women's basketball, bringing in the alums, hiring a Becky Hammond, all those things. He is totally on board with it. So it is awesome to have an owner there that has the team's back 1,000%. And it's a monumental achievement. And Chelsea Gray who said it best, like, you're watching the best in the world, and one day she will be a Hall of Famer. So it's great to give her flowers as she's doing it. So it was great to see. I'm glad I caught the game and saw it and, lived through the moment.
Yeah. So as you see here, 43.01 for her points, which passed Sophia Young-Malcolm, which had 4,300 to become the all-time leading scorer in the history of Utah Stars. Yeah, San Antonio Stars and, Las Vegas Aces, obviously. So yeah, pretty cool. Let me share this other thingamajigger here, because I just thought it was pretty cool to hear, we can, like I said before, when I played you these clips before, we can talk about Asia Wilson all day long and what she means to us or this team or to Vegas or whatever. But to hear, especially, Becky, somebody that's coached in the NBA, she's played against, she played in the WNBA. She's played alongside of some of the biggest stars. She's coached some of the biggest stars.
She played on the San Antonio Silver Stars. She's a member of the organization, right?
Yep. Exactly. Let me make sure I got this right one. I got like 30 clips here for you guys. So I'm gonna be pulling up the wrong shit and then like, no.
Yep, wrong one.
This is gonna be Becky. And let me see. Because always my internet wants to start being crazy when it's time to show you guys something. Maybe it's like, you got too much shit open.
No, yeah.
That don't look like Becky, but we'll fix it.
There she is.
That's weird. It's like Becky's face, and then all of a sudden Chelsea shows up.
Yeah, I think if you hit play, it'll fade over. Seemed like it was right on the crust. There you go.
The defense, after giving up, 27 in the first quarter. Like I said, it was just in the world, but she pushes the.
I mean, we're just seeing her just improve every single night.
All right.
I mean, it's pleasure to be around her. She's a, best basketball player in the world, but she pushes the envelope for best person in the world too. I just enjoy her so much as a person. She's wonderful to coach. I coach her hard, get on her. She keeps it real. And like I said, she's Asia in whatever room she walks in.
For Asia to set that new record tonight in front of a handful of alum as well, what was that like? Just talking to the alum from over the years that have helped build your program.
I mean, we're just trying to win basketball games. I don't think it was really like Asia, like, oh, the alumni are in the house. I'm gonna go set a record. No, it wasn't like that. She's just playing, taking what the defense gives her. Obviously, Mark and Nikki set a precedence in honoring the franchise and the people that have played for it. And everybody should feel good about being a part of this franchise and seeing where it's at now. I mean, it's come a long ways from the Utah Stars, right?
A lot of the franchise records are, Asia, Sophia, and yourself. When it comes to, these shooting records, the points records and stuff like that. As someone who's, played with Sophia, coached Asia, what have these two really done for the franchise and just the game?
So, I mean, both really special players. One thing that sticks out for sure is they both have phenomenal hands. I mean, I could throw that ball to Sophia, anywhere and she'd go grab it. Asia is the same way. I mean, you just put it up in her area and she's going to come down with it. They play different now than we did. It's a much faster paced game, funner. I think I would have loved to play how, we're playing today in the W, which is a lot of space, a lot of action, a lot of threes, high skill set, it's a lot of fun to play. Asia is somebody that just keeps on extending her game, growing her game in different ways. I mean, tonight she goes 3 for 4 from 3. She virtually becomes impossible to guard if she's going to make threes. If you're a coach, you're going to gamble with that. And now it's, like I said, it's a whole problem when she starts shooting that thing with confidence, and I think she is now.
Something else that stuck out to me in that press conference was when Becky, and she's talked about this before, when she was getting the job and Asia goes over there to visit Becky.
Oh yeah.
Right. And Becky was still working with with the Spurs, right?
Yeah, she was still with the Spurs.
Yeah. So Asia goes, over there to visit Becky and, shoot around so Becky can see, about Asia, what Asia's working with and whatever. And Becky was like, after watching Asia shoot, she's like, oh, you can really shoot. And she's like, I didn't know, why aren't you shooting? And Asia's like, well, because they don't the coach doesn't use me like that. That's
not what they let us do. Yeah.
That's not what we do there. And she's like, well, that's what we're going to start doing. Mm-hmm. And Becky showed up in the building and Asia hasn't stopped shooting since,
right.
So
and all of a sudden you see Asia shooting mid-range jump shots. Like, where'd that come from? Yeah. There you go. Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to this WNBA space the other day and they were talking about how, Becky's had it. Like the one girl was like, I don't give Becky no credit because now keep in mind, the girl already doesn't like Becky because of the whole Hamby situation. Right. So,
there you go. Okay. So it's
start off with that
going into it. Yeah.
And she goes, I don't give Becky any credit because she how can you not, have coach a good team when you have you have 4 Olympians on your team and yada, yada, yada. And then this New York Liberty fan speaks up, also doesn't like Becky. Okay. And says, well, we have the super team of the WNBA talking about the Liberty, right? And our coach continues to be out-coached game in and game out and continues to lose us games because of her coaching decisions. And this isn't the first time that coach has had a super team. And the last super team she won 1 championship only with. You know, so like you can have all these
Yeah.
stars on your team. It doesn't mean you're going to go win a freaking championship. Yet the Aces
right.
won back-to-back championships both years that Becky's been here. So, and I watched this team prior to Becky being here with Kelsey, with Asia, you know, and the team was shit with Hamby, you know, like, so let's not pretend like, oh, just because you have all these stars on the team's just going to be good and they're going to go out there and run shit, because that's not the way it works.
That's not the way it goes in sports. We've seen it in all different type of sports where teams go out and they try to put together these super teams and bring in free agents and pay for players, etc., and wind up winning nothing because the coaching isn't right. The culture isn't right. It takes more than that. And when Becky came in to like let Asia set the tone, be the culture setter, she did her thing, and now it's all just coming together.
Exactly. All right, let me get this next clip. I know what happened because I had set all these clips up, but since it was like, even though I pull up a new tab, it was like the same video, so it just like reset everything.
Yeah, reset the video. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah.
All right. So real quick, this is what Asia had to say herself on what it meant, you know, with the alumni being there while she did this. And then we'll get into Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, let's get into rookies, some all-star stuff.
Yep. All right. Let's listen to the GOAT herself here.
That's after she moved her bag away from Chelsea.
Yep. Chelsea. Everybody was trying to steal her bag, so that's why she has her bag up there.
Be sure that they're getting better around you as well. You know, not only just achieving this tonight, but picking up the win, especially after the LA game. Just how much sweeter does this make in celebrating the victory and being able to celebrate with your teammates? You know, just the whole celebration.
Yeah, it's big time. It really is, and this is something that I love that we get to celebrate. Like it's just coming off of that loss against LA, it stung. It stung us really bad. I have some carryover, low key. Yeah, it hurt.
Me
and it's
too.
gonna continue to hurt, but it hurt. But to bounce back and to have games like this and just to have celebrations like this, sometimes you need, especially in this time of the season where you're kind of getting senioritis. It's close to All-Star break, but you got games that you need to win because it can help you with seeding, and it's like we're not where we want to be. So just to have games where we can just not lose, but really be happy for each other. It's so pure. It's happy. So I love to see the smiles on their faces. No, this is what it's truly all about. Like this is basketball and culture to us.
Speaking of LA game, you guys had a bunch of the nation there cheering you guys on. How much did that help you guys? I know in the third quarter they were loud.
For sure.
did that help you? You know, kind of turn up a little bit just to hear them like cheering you guys on?
Definitely. Honestly, I think it probably helped. We've been true to this, not new to this. This is something that we've always been about and being there for one another. So when our fans can travel and be there for us, it's a big moment for us.
Willie, and then we get a couple of Zoom before we come back.
This is the question.
Chelsea, Becky just said that from Utah to San Antonio to Las Vegas, you're sitting next to the greatest players ever put a jersey on. I think we know the answer. We talk about where she ranks probably. I mean, you play with Candace, you play with a lot of great players. Do you still have wow moments during a game playing with Asia?
I be yelling all the time saying that's tough. Oh wow, oh nice. But one thing that I really want to emphasize sometimes, like in sports, we don't take the time to celebrate somebody that's doing greatest in the moment while they're in a season or while they're playing. We wait until after they retire to talk about it even more. But I think you're doing an injustice if you don't have the conversation now. Into like fans to embrace this moment. Like I wish I would have been able to be there to see Magic play or to see legends like that be able to play. So now fans understanding, like when you're coming, you're seeing somebody that's going to be in the Hall of Fame soon. So I would just emphasize celebrating that as she's continuing to get better and break records as well.
Yeah, let them know. We ain't new to this. We true to this. What's up, Daniel Barry? I see you.
What's up? Yep.
All right. So yeah, shout out to Asia. We'll get into the aces and again in a little while, but I definitely wanted to start off showing her, giving her her flowers. And we say it all the time, but like Chelsea there said, we need to appreciate these people. The same like with our loved ones, like everybody's
Yeah.
so quick when somebody passes away to stand up and, oh, this person give this big old speech and you're going to show up and give flowers at the gravesite. Like, why aren't you giving flowers to them while they're alive and letting them know what they mean to you when you're alive? Like, don't wait for the person to die, like to let them know like what they meant to you. Right. Like, so, or when they're on their deathbed,
Yeah.
so like the same goes for players. Like, why do we need to wait till it's time for them to retire to show what they mean
Yeah.
to a city, show what they mean to a fan base, and so I don't think that we can, like there's not enough flowers that, especially me, and I had put out a tweet about this, like as somebody, and this is why I try to close every show with if you can see her, you can be her, and why that's so important to me is because as somebody that grew up, born and raised in Las Vegas, obviously we didn't have the WNBA wasn't around when I was in school, so like there wasn't that. And then I'm growing up in a city where we weren't allowed to have sports, so we had UNLV, like that's all the sports that we had, college sports, like, yeah, the basketball team was good for a little bit, but other than that, like the team is usually not very good. So it was like there wasn't nothing, like once I get into high school, we had our high school football team, but my high school football team sucked too. So there was that. And then other than that, like there was no sports for kids that grew up in Vegas, So once the Aces finally came around here and, especially draft, we get Asia, and Asia is given this team basically like, okay, this is your team. You're the superstar of the team. This is your city.
Yep.
Do with it what you will, And what did she do with it? She brought us 2 championships. She brought Las Vegas its first ever professional championship.
Yep.
And she just continues, and like Becky said there, she's not just the greatest player in the world, but like she's pushing to be like the greatest person to her in the world, and like I'll continue to say this, like that means so much for a superstar of a team to be as unselfish and just as, I don't even know what the word is, but like to not act like she's better than everybody else, like she's right there doing everything with the rookies, showing love, signing autographs with the fans afterwards, like doing everything as just a normal player, not as if she's a freaking superstar. Like she doesn't have to do all that. She could be like, I'm above all this. Bye. I'm out of here. Like we've seen tons of superstars act like that, and no, she continues to make me so fucking proud to be from the city. Like, and, and it starts with her. It's not just her, but it starts with her. It's Jackie Young continues to be so fucking tough and show us what Vegas is all about, I talk about it all the time. Alicia Clark, what she means to me and means to the city and this team, like I could go on and on, but it starts with Asia Wilson, and I'll continue to give her her flowers forever because she's earned them.
Yeah, you made a great point there. She doesn't act like a superstar. If you like were just coming into the WNBA watching the Aces, she acts like she's the 12th man, like the person at the end of the bench. Like she's rooting on her teammates. She's signing autographs, taking pictures with people, just happy to be embraced and noticed by the crowd. Like she doesn't take any part of this for granted. And she's so thankful for the moment and the opportunity and what she's doing. It shows you how humble she is as a person. And that's part of what makes her great. And you heard Becky say it in the press conference. She's more impressed with her as a person than anything else. And if you listen to her teammates talk about her from other press conferences, they all say the same thing. Like it's her the person first, then the player. And that's just, a testament to who she is.
Yep. All right, let's go over to Caitlin Clark.
Uh-oh.
The first rookie triple double WNBA has officially occurred. Caitlin Clark hits it. I'm going to show this clip in the press conference afterwards because it's so hilarious.
Yeah.
The way she acts like, now remember, the first ever rookie to do something, right? Now you think you would be like, oh shit, like I'd be going crazy, But Caitlin, she just like so like I would love to see what she look like, what she's like when she's turned up, like
Yeah. With no cameras are on her,
Yeah. All right. So she's asked about it. This is what she had to say.
You're the first female player to ever get a triple-double in franchise history. Congratulations on that. How much does that big of a win add on to that accomplishment?
Honestly, I'm just happy we won. Like I've said, I take a lot of pride in being able to do a lot of different things for this team. I want to be able to, I think we're really good when I can get the ball off the glass and just go in transition and find my teammates and set them up. But obviously 13 assists, that means my teammates made 13 shots off my passes. So that goes to them. But I don't know. She's so humble, isn't she? I don't know what to say. I mean, it's great. I don't know.
You got time for 2 on Zoom. Mike Lopel will start.
So yeah, I wanted to show that, not only to show, obviously what Caitlin Clark had to say about it. But there were once a conversation that those two didn't get along. So I thought it was very nice to see that, oh, that's so happy for you, sister. You don't say that to somebody that you can't fucking stand. I don't care if you're lying to their face or not. You just don't say anything, period.
Yeah.
You don't go call them your sister and all this, and she's so humble, yada, yada, and continue to talk her up. You just don't say nothing, right? So Caitlin Clark had 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists. And like she said, she gave her teammates credit because obviously for the 13 assists, she don't get those if her teammates don't score the basket, right? Afterwards.
Yeah.
The biggest thing coming with that as well is that the Fever took down the Liberty 83 to 70. So y'all know I loved to see that. But what are your thoughts on Caitlin Clark becoming the first rookie to get a triple-double?
Yeah, it was kind of inevitable. Just the way she plays, she distributes the ball, Oh man, when I think back to the beginning of the season and all those dumb narratives that people put out there, her teammates aren't finishing plays for her. And her teammates don't like her, and all this garbage that people who had no idea what they were talking about were saying. Now they say nothing because we see the truth, right? That it's all garbage. Her teammates are finishing plays for her. This is not the first time she's racked up double-digit assists. Like she said, her teammates are finishing. It's what they do. She was close to a triple-double last week. Was it against the Aces? She needed 1 rebound to get it, but was 1 short. And we've seen other games earlier in the year where she was 2 assists away and 2 rebounds away. So it was you can tell she has an all-around game. It's inevitable. I know people will say, hey, but her rebounds come against air, they're, long shots. Yeah, everyone gets those. I hear you. She's not battling for rebounds like other people, but she still got them. So there's that. But it's a good accomplishment. It's a huge accomplishment, Triple doubles in the WNBA don't come often unless you're Alyssa Thomas, and she's she's a different kind of animal. She's just out of her mind. But this is a great accomplishment for her. And, you know, it shows that she's a very good player on an ascending young team. And this is what you want to see.
I agree. Very awesome to see. And like you said, it was coming, but like she kept like one short, and it's like, okay, she's gonna get it. She's gonna get it, you know. So she got it. On the other side of this now is Angel Reese. We've talked about it before. She's on her consecutive double doubles that hasn't stopped. She is now has her 13th consecutive double double.
Yep.
She's officially passed Candace Parker. And we've also talked about this. Candace Parker's was over 2 seasons. You know, Angel Reese has done this all in 1 season. Obviously, Candace Parker, she wasn't just a rookie, right, doing it. So Angel Reese is doing it as a rookie, passing one of the greatest WNBA players of all time in Candace Parker. So another huge accomplishment on her side as well. With this, now, obviously, there was when it was funny because the day Angel Reese passed Candace Parker and broke the record, you know, so everybody was like, okay, Angel Reese has this Rookie of the Year competition in the bag. It's in her favor. She got it. You know, so far, yada, yada. The very next day, Caitlin Clark's like, not so fast, and scores her triple double. So she definitely, you know, some people have her now in the lead of the race. Some people have them neck and neck. Let me know how you're feeling about Angel Reese passing Candace Parker and how you think this race to Rookie of the Year is going.
Well, first of all, what Angel is doing is great. I mean, it's a huge accomplishment to be so consistent at it, right? Night in and night out. She's putting in that work. Like, okay, I just talked about, you know, Caitlin getting rebounds, long rebounds against air. She's not battling. Angel Reese is battling. Like, if you watch her play, she's battling 1, 2 people for rebounds. She's hustling. She's doing all that dirty work. So her getting those rebounds is not easy. And she's not known as a prolific scorer. Yet night in and night out, she's racking up double doubles. And over the past like 4 or 5 games, she's taking it up a notch. Like, these aren't just like 11 points and 10 rebounds, right? We're talking about 16 rebounds, 19 rebounds, 14 rebounds, and 27 points, 17 points, 18 points. Like, the scoring is up.
Yeah.
So she's playing out of her mind right now. And, you know, many people question, would her game even translate to the WNBA? Would she make it? She's showing that she's more than making it. She's thriving and doing her thing. And then for a rookie, has quietly become, you know, the leader of that team. I know Marina Mabry is supposed to be the elder statesman and leader. That's not the case. It's her. So she's playing great ball. So kudos to her. She broke Candace's record. I believe Alyssa Thomas set the all-time record for double doubles in a season last year with 26. I think is the number 26, 27, 28. It's somewhere around there. But now Angel has her eyes on that, right? Which, if she keeps playing this way, she may be able to reach that. So sky's the limit for her. Yeah, she plays for the sky, no pun intended. But she's doing her thing. You can't say enough good things about what she's doing. And just one last thing real quick. Her game. We talk about A'ja Wilson's last game, and she had 28 points and 10 rebounds, and she was doing everything. That game Angel Reese had the other night was the exact same game A'ja Wilson had. A'ja had 28 and 10. Angel Reese had 27 and 10. I mean, A'ja was scoring from inside. Angel was scoring from the outside. A'ja Wilson was hitting mid-range shots. Angel Reese was hitting mid-range shots. A'ja Wilson went 3 for 4 from three-point land. Angel Reese went 2 for 2 from 3-point land, including a corner three. Like it's wild how like Angel Reese, her who she looks up to is Asia Wilson, and they had like the exact same games, playing the exact same way. It's like if this is her trajectory, she's going to be a very good player in this league for a long, long time. Now, going to a rookie of the year, it's going to go back and forth, no matter how you look at it, right? It all depends on which way you look at it, whether you value one thing over another. Like I just mentioned, Angel's consistency, she's doing it night in, night out, or just like the all around numbers that Caitlin's doing, and it doesn't come night in and night out, but it's there, right? She'll score 3 points against Liberty the last game, but this game she had a triple double. Like it is what it is, right? So, but they're both playing very good ball. So it's going to be either way. I don't care who it is. What I'm just enjoying the run and how great it is, because they're both doing great things. And that's what everyone should be excited about, because they're just rookies. They're going to be doing this for the next 15 years, and they're going to get better and better at it. And they're going to continue to take their teams up a notch. And they're playing in the same conference. They're both in the East. That means they're going to be battling for a long time. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be so great to see.
Yeah. What's up? Kevin says, what Angel Reese is doing is fantastic, but Clark is rookie of the year. I said this the other day, and I know this has been said a million times, but I don't know why we have to continue to, when we build one person up, cut the other one down. Like that isn't necessary. Like just because you're a fan of one person don't mean you can't like respect and appreciate, somebody else's game. And like Kevin says, in his opinion, Clark's rookie of the year. However, he says, Angel Reese is doing it fantastic. He doesn't have to say
that's a great comment.
But, Clark's rookie of the year. Like, and so many times, like so often, that's what you see. Like, one has to be talked shit about in order for the other one to get talked up. Like, and that's so it's not necessary.
Like you can say, like you give credit where credit is due. You can say, oh, player X is balling, but player Y is balling on a different level. Let me tell you why, and make your case. Like that's the way it should be. Not this person's trash. They're not shit. They blah blah blah. My person's just better. Like what are you saying? And why do you have to trash a person who is playing well? Like it's sad to see, and it's sad that this stupid discourse is out there.
Yeah. All right, let's look at the All-Star team. Now, speaking of how great both of these rookies are doing, both the only two rookies to make the All-Star team. So shout out to them. As you see, this is your current 2024 WNBA All-Star team. Got DeWanna Bonner, Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, Alicia Gray, Dearica Hamby, Breonna Jones, Jonquel Jones, Kayla McBride, Kelsey Mitchell, Arike, Nneka, and Angel Reese. And then obviously we know that they'll be playing against Team USA, who we've talked about, so many times already. You see them all there. Now, we know, obviously, they're not giving their all in this game, right? Like, it's a regular game, but I still think this will be a great game. Now, there are a couple of players, and we talked about who we thought would make the All-Star team, players that we thought, that should anyways. And I know there's a couple players that we talked about that did not make this All-Star team. And one that really, really sticks out for me is, and like, I hate this for her because I know like they kept asking her about it, like, oh, what would this mean to you to make your first all-star? And like, I hate when they do that to players, like regardless, team, sports, anything, because it's like you're there getting their hopes up, right? And then like they're all talking about it just to then no. But that is Dejanay Carrington. Like, she's been on a roll. Like, she's come like
Hell yeah.
she's come back from so freaking much, and playing like both ends of the court has been playing great. Offense, defense. Like, she makes some of the like I don't want to say like sexiest, but yeah, like some of the sexiest like blocks, like that you'll see in the game. Like,
chasing
just like,
people
holy
down and
shit,
stuff.
like
Yeah.
like chasing them down from one end of the court to the other to block, like get a block, and it's just like crazy like things that she does. So I was very surprised to see, her not make it. There are a couple people, but I don't want to discredit anybody that did make it or be like, oh, well, this person shouldn't have made it and this person should have,
Right.
like, I think regardless, like, like this is a great team. I'm glad to see, obviously Caitlin Clark was at the top of the voting, the number one vote getter. But, with that being said, like, I'm glad to see other people on her team that got love too, because like we said at the beginning of the season, that wasn't the case. It was, oh, Caitlin Clark's the best player on this team. Everybody else on the team sucks and is holding her back and all this shit. We talked about how Boston, they made her get off the internet and social media and all this shit because, they were talking so much shit to her. And yeah. And so, to see, her get the votes, Kelsey Mitchell, obviously on the same team with them, get votes. I know, obviously we have, some back and forth about Hamby, and we'll get into them beating the Aces again, and MVP Hamby against the Aces. But I definitely, like, I love to see that she made this team, and, like, she's just, to see her, like, she's battled back from so much stuff as well. Injuries, pregnancies, having to, getting traded, all that. And now she's on a team where the other vets on the team basically are hurt, so she's on this young team, bunch of rookies, bunch of young players that, haven't come into their own yet. And she's kind of taken them under her wing and become such a great leader over there. Like, you see her footprint on the rookies on that team, the younger players, like, you see them, like, you see her, like, during the game, she's hyping them up, like, you can do this, you got this, you like, during the entire game, like, she has that bench going the entire time. So, like, I know that I'm hard on Hamby, but, that's just for other reasons. But shout out to her because she's playing great. But yeah, your thoughts on the all-star team?
Yeah, like you said, I'm in agreement with you. I think of all the people who were, I don't want to say snub, but just simply didn't make the team, because it's only a handful of spots. Not everyone can make it. I think Dejanay Carrington should have definitely gotten more votes than what she got. I know Connecticut is a small market, but man, their fans should have turned up and voted. Like, I voted for her because she was just playing great. Yeah, but the team itself, I think it was a good team. A lot of people deserving. Can't say enough about them. I think we all knew the two rookies would get in. Being Angel Reese, who averaged a double-double her last 3 years in college, to the people in the chat. I don't know what's going on here, but and we knew Caitlin Clark, due to her popularity, like, she got, I think, the most votes out of anyone. You knew she was going to be in just because she's Caitlin Clark, right? People want to see her in it. So, but they are deserving of it. I think that's the key part. They are more than deserving of it, as well as all the other players there. There's one more name I would like to mention. That's Izzy Maglador of the Seattle Storm. I think she's been having a great season. She's a block machine. Another young ascending player. I think she could have been deserving of a nod, So, but like I said, it's just too many players. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I know they don't really take the All-Star game too serious. It's more like a fun thing, but it's good to see the competition. And one thing about this that I'm really excited about, and others should be excited about too, is that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, they've known each other since like junior high school, playing AAU ball against each other. Like this isn't new between them, but they've never been on the same team together.
Mm-hmm.
They have never played with each other, which is weird because in like the world of today's basketball, you always wind up on a team with another player, especially since you're playing against them so much. You're in the same area. You're doing that, right? With these local teams. I mean, these traveling teams, they have never played with each other. So this is going to finally happen. So it's going to be fun just to see them on the court with each other, doing their thing. You got this inside presence and this outside presence. Like it's going to be fun to watch. That's exciting for me. And I think the fans should be excited about that as well.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad you brought that up. And they, thinking about those two playing together, like they do, like, they're opposite. So they complement, playing together very well. So that's definitely going to be cool to see. And I know Caitlin, she brought that up as well when asked about it, and said, like she's glad that she's going to get to play with her because they haven't got to play. It's always them playing against each other. Let me play this real quick. I thought this was pretty cool. This is when Angel finds out, right after she finds out that she made the All-Star team.
Something I've seen from you yet.
Yeah.
So can you just describe the reason for the theory? And
well, we won today. But they just told me I'm an all-star. And I mean, I'm just so happy. I know the work I put in coming into this league. So many people doubted me and didn't think my game would translate, and I wouldn't be the player that I was in college, or better, or would be worse, and wouldn't be where I am right now. But I trusted the process and I believed, and I'm thankful that I dropped to 7 and was able to come to Chicago. And like, it's just a blessing. I can't thank my teammates and my coaches enough for just believing in me and trusting me. And I know all of them are going to come to Phoenix and support me. So I'm really happy right now.
You've talked a lot about your journey with this game and all of these accomplishments you've made along the way. I'm curious, how old were you the first time you picked up a basketball, and were these dreams you had back then?
Yeah, so I picked up a ball when I was 4. My mom had me playing with my brother. My brother also plays basketball as well. My mom and dad both play basketball. Being an all-star was never really on my list. Of course, being a champion, I really don't write down individual accolades. I always write down what I want as a team, and walking out of there, I always wanted to be a winner. In college, I wanted nothing but to win, and going to LSU and being able to win that national championship, and then coming to Chicago and wanting to build this back up. It starts somewhere, and I have to kind of give myself some grace of what I'm doing as a rookie. But yeah, being an all-star wasn't really on my list as a rookie. Even just playing, I didn't even know if I was going to start. Like, just being able to just take things day by day and just work, and have coaches that really believe in you is special.
A lot of discourse this week has been, strangely enough, about Teaspoon getting fired. Now, this comes after Camila Cardosa spent a lot of the last game on the bench. Her fans went to social media and obviously were pissed that the player that they like, the player that they follow, you want to see him play, right? So, they're calling for Teaspoon's job because, she don't know what she's doing with the rotations and yada, yada, yada. Okay. We have talked before about how, and Angel Reese said right there, how she's so thankful that she fell to the spot that she did, right? And we talked about before how Angel Reese going to Chicago with Teaspoon was the perfect spot for her as a player, for her in her career, for her as a person. The perfect spot. And if you don't think that Teaspoon, now we know the player that Angel Reese was in college, right? So this is taking nothing away from that. But if you don't think that Teaspoon plays a hand into the player that Angel Reese currently is right now, and the leader that she's is, and the way that that team's gelling, and the way that Kennedy Carter is playing, and all this other shit, like, you're sadly fucking mistaken. Like, Teaspoon ain't new to this. She ain't no freaking sides, okay? Like, this is a fucking champion. This is somebody that played at the top of the level, like, played with some of the best basketball players in the world, and was one of the best basketball players in the world. So it was just very crazy to see people calling for her job. Like, do you think Chicago would have won any fucking games? Like, you know, like, you just think, like, she gets this new team. None of these players were on this team before. She has a bunch of rookies, a bunch of people that just signed to this team, like, and they're winning games, you know, like, there was this clip, and I'll pull this up if you want to go ahead and talk on that, but this clip of Kennedy Carter, you know, and if you watch the Chicago games, you would know this happens every time. And we talked about this before on the show too, that Carter, she's been in trouble before with her temper. She's been in fights. We watched what she's done this season already. And all of a sudden, since that last incident, you know, of her pulling her down, that whole thing, right? Every time Carter gets into a situation where she's either worked up, or she gets into it with the ref, or got a foul, or whatever, tech, or whatever the situation is, the first move she makes is beelines to that fucking side of the court, straight to the And, you know, I heard somebody bring this up and said, and it was so perfect to see this, because you see Angel do the same thing. And they said the difference is Angel is going to Teaspoon because she wants a review. She's telling you what she needs. Carter is going to Teaspoon because she's like, okay, I'm worked up. You know, my emotions are getting the best of me, and you're the only person that can calm this storm. And it continues to work game after game after game. Teaspoon whispers into her ear. They have a little conversation, and Carter's back into the game like nothing fucking happened.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. The discourse is crazy. Like, and I don't know what fans are thinking, but you can look at this team and say they got something brewing. And we've talked about this on this show. They have something brewing there. And Coach Weatherspoon is she's the chef stirring it up, making it all happen, right? And she's got these totally new pieces. She's her first time with the team. She's still mixing and matching these players, still trying to figure out the best combination to close out games, right? And sometimes Camilla does not play well. Like, remember, she's just a rookie and she missed the first month of the season.
Exactly.
So, and Spoon isn't afraid to bench a person. Like I talked about, Marina Mabry is supposed to be the leader of this team. You know, the person that's out there leading the charge. She's benched her in the fourth quarter. Like, you out there shooting bricks, you guys sit down. You ain't getting it done. But talk about Kennedy Carter. Kennedy Carter was easily in the running for sixth player of the year. But she's playing so well, you see Coach rewarded her and made her a starter. And since she's been starting, she's been averaging over 20 points a game. That's something people aren't even talking about. She is absolutely balling out of her mind. She dropped 33 the other night. And I don't care where you are. You dropped 33 points in the game. You had a very good game. Right? So she's obviously doing the right things for her players, making it happen. As you said, it's the perfect situation, not only for Angel Reese, but for Kennedy herself. And you can see how her game is just going up to another level. And the combination of Angel and Kennedy is just, you talk about teammates that fit. These two tend to fit. They're both fighters, they're gritty, they got each other's backs. They could be a deadly combination from the outside and inside for a long time to come. So people need to lay off these coaches. Like they're just like they're just halfway into the season, still tinkering, still doing things. Let it ride, people. Let it ride.
Let it ride.
Exactly.
But yeah, and like you see how she had a little conversation with her, and then she like slaps her on the back of the head, and then the clip don't show that, you know, after that, you know, little gathering, they, you know, once they go back out, she came off that court. Carter came off that court pissed, and you can see as Spoon's whispering in her ear, she's like breathing heavy, like she's worked up. And then Spoon talks to her, gives her that little pat on the head. They finish, and she's back into the game like nothing even happened at all.
Yeah.
And that was never the case before. Never.
Yeah. She'd been upset. And it hit me. I actually watched that game. That was the game the other night where Angel Reese had 27 and 10, and Kennedy Carter had 33. Excuse me. She was absolutely balling. They called her on a foul on a fast break where she didn't foul her. She just had hands up. Jewel Lloyd just lost her balance and fell. It was a bad call by the refs. But she calmed down. She's chilling. She went back out and just balled, closed that game out. But the thing is, if you watch like the press conferences and you see them together after the game, you see Kennedy Carter smiling ear to ear, just sitting next to Coach, right? Just as happy as can be. Perfect situation. She has this team playing well. Despite the injuries, they've got crazy injuries. Like, people need to chill because this is going to be a very good team in the future, right? They're like really just like kind of a point guard away, I think, from doing something. And like Camilla and Angel continuing to develop, and Kennedy continue to ball out. Like, if they could get some more 3-point shooting, like that was the whole thing when they waived Kaiser Gondrusek, sorry. She's a 3-point shooter. I think she needed more playing time to get some shots up. But they're going to be a good team in the future. And Coach Weatherspoon will be the one leading them to good places. I mean, they're in line for a playoff run right now. If the season ended today, they would be the 8th seed, I think. So that's an accomplishment right there.
I agree. And yesterday, Angel tweeted out and said, "One thing I don't play about is teaspoon. So let's not even try it. That's one thing I don't tolerate, like, at all." So yeah, if you think that there's like some issues, and like even yesterday too, Camilla was on IG Live and she's like showing around her new apartment. She, you know, like doing her hair, like talking up Angel Reese, how Angel Reese is the rookie of the year. Like, if you think that there's some trouble there, you know, like that's not what trouble looks like at all. So,
nope.
All right, let's get into these games that happened this past week in the standings a little bit. So currently, tied in first place are the Liberty and the Sun at 17-4, and they actually play tomorrow, so that's going to be a good game for first place.
I will be there.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll be in the house.
All right. Coming in third place is the Lynx, currently 15-6. Fourth place, the Storm. Fifth place are the Aces, 13-7. So the Storm in 4th are 14-7. So the Aces are just one game behind the Storm. We got Mercury at 6. The Fever at 7. Sky at 8. Dream at 9. Sparks at 10. The Mystics at 11. And the Wings at 12.
Yep.
So the Aces, let's start there. Since we last saw you guys, the Aces played 1, 2,
4 games.
3, 4 games. Won 3, lost 1, lost to the Sparks. Now,
yep.
I was very pissed off about this for lots of reasons. First one, you know that the Aces were on a win streak since Chelsea Gray had been back. So we hadn't lost a game yet. Now, the Aces were on a back-to-back. So this was the second night of a back-to-back. They had to travel to, obviously not that far, but still not a home game, right? Traveled over there to LA. OT game. So it's not like they're getting losses kicked or whatever. Like it was back and forth. Like it was a good game.
Very good game.
Goes to OT and very last seconds, they're not able to pull it off. The Sparks had not won a game since they last played the Aces.
I know.
Like they were on like a 8-game or something.
8-game losing streak.
They beat the Aces. They lose for 8 games, and then they beat the Aces again. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, Dearica Hamby turns up, and I swear, this is why I said she's such a great leader, too, because she got the entire team turning up every time they play the Aces. Like, you guys can take a nap no matter who we're playing. Unless it's Las Vegas, don't let us lose against Becky Hammond, you know? And, like, it's just crazy. But, yeah, the Aces, the first game was Fever at the Aces. 69-88. I mean, you know, the score is what it is. Mystics at the Aces, 77-98.
Shout out to Melly.
Yep. Shout out to Melly. Sorry, we couldn't let you guys win that one.
Nope.
And then, like I said, back to back. So the Aces at the Sparks, they lost 93-98 in OT. And then the Wings at the Aces won 85-104. So as you can see, all 3 of those other games, the Aces took care of business. In the games, the Aces even pulled their starters, you know, so they were doing good. And then it's like they play LA and I don't know. Let me start off by saying this. Welcome back, Kelsey Plum.
KP.
Hallelujah. Yes. Plum Dog. Oh my goodness. These games wouldn't have the scores they do if it wasn't for Kelsey Plum showing back up and how sweet it is. Man, like we talked about, right? Everything obviously that Kelsey's going through, we know. And then with Chelsea being out, Kelsey had to take over this role that, you know, she's not used to. And I told you all, Kelsey Plum is the best when she has the least amount of responsibility as possible. Like, just put the ball in her hand, say, go out there, put the ball in the basket. Like, that's it.
Yep.
Nothing more, nothing less. You don't play defense. Don't worry about it. Just put the ball in the basket. Like, back to caveman stuff. Draw the game plan on the walls in the cave and put her out there to work. And
just go ball out.
Perfect. Yeah, and she did because her numbers. Let me see what they're looking at. These last few games.
She had a great last few games.
Yeah, because man, she was on a roll, and so I love it. So, all right, Sunday, the last game against the Dallas, she had 23 points. The game before that, she had 21 points. The game before that, she had 28 points. The game against the Fever, she had 34 points.
Yep.
Now, you see that last 4 games. That's why I say she's back. Because the game before that, against Washington, she had 2 points.
Yep. Terrible shooting.
2 points. And the games prior to that were not looking so great either. And like she wasn't getting shut down like that. But she
Shots were
wasn't
just
having no
off.
30+ point games either.
Yeah.
But man, like whew, when she's on, like, and you just like the Kelsey that we know and love, like that's who we saw these last 4 games. I'm not even gonna dribble, I'm gonna catch and shoot. Like,
Yep.
I'm gonna like fucking speed past everybody, pull up and shoot. Like, it was so nice to see. Asia, obviously, we know she balls out, continues to ball out. Jackie Young, she left one of these games with a hand injury. Like, I even text Ty and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
Jackie's hurt, because she went to like it looked like she went to go try to make a steal and her thumb like hit. I don't know if it hit the girl's stomach or arm, the ball, it hit something. And like she didn't even like leave the court and stop at the bench or anything. She like, and I put this, like, I swear I tweet this out 100 times a day. Jackie, too tough, because she's just so freaking tough. And so to see her just skip right past the bench and go straight to the back, and of course the camera follows her, right? And she gets back there and she's just down, like buckling over in freaking pain. And I'm just like, oh no, this isn't good. Like, and the broadcasts are like, oh, she might have broke her thumb, yada yada. And I'm just like, oh god, this is not what we need. We just got freaking Chelsea back. Now we're gonna lose Jackie. Like, you gotta be kidding me. And all of a sudden, I think they go to halftime, like shortly after that, and to start the third,
she's
here
back
comes
out there.
number 0, back out on the floor, like nothing freaking happened. And you would see her like kind of grab her, like obviously she was not feeling great, right? And her shot was, not wonderful. But hell, she came back and
she turned it on in the fourth
game. So
yeah. She started feeling better at the end of the fourth, and she turned it on, and she was the reason why the Aces stuck in that game and forced overtime. Like, I was like, man, if she didn't hurt that thing, this might be a different game.
Yeah. So shout out to all of them. Shout out to Alicia Clark. Happy birthday to her.
Yep.
We got the birthday dub for her this last game. And she even put out a tweet like she can't believe like she 37 or 38.
Yeah.
I think one of those
37.
And like she's still playing basketball, and it's just like I couldn't even imagine like what this team would look like. Like, let's say she decided she didn't come to Vegas a couple of years ago and would have retired or something instead,
or went
like I
somewhere
can't
else,
remember
right?
what the Aces would be like without Alicia Clark on this team. Your thoughts on the Vegas games?
Yeah, well, first of all, we've talked about this, how this season, the schedule for these teams have been brutal. And these last 4 games was, a testament to that. I mean, to play one day, then you get 2 days off. Then all of a sudden it's a back-to-back. And then your next game is like a day and a half off because you're playing in the middle of the day. So you don't even get that full 48 hours to call it, a 2-day rest. It's a game and a half. It's a day and a half. So it's
that's
brutal.
so weird. Yeah. 12:30 start time in Vegas. Like, very weird.
A brutal schedule, right? But they're professionals. They got to play through it, and almost went 4-0. Handled their business against Indiana. We know Indiana still isn't on as young and upcoming as they are. They aren't on the Aces level. They did what they did. Same for
what
Washington.
A game. That was a great game and a hell of a turnout. They moved it to T-Mobile. It was packed.
They moved it to T-Mobile. Oh yeah, and it was packed. Some 20,000 people showed out for it, and really a bunch of the Aces games could be at T-Mobile, and people will show out because
they should. Yeah,
they've sold out T-Mobile before. People, don't let this fool you. This is not a one-time occurrence. T-Mobile has been packed, like especially for the playoffs. Go back, watch the playoff games. That's all you need to know. But a great game. Played the Mystics, handled business there. It's just those damn Sparks. We've talked about this before. That is their Super Bowl. And what's funny is it was like, okay, this is going to be different because since the last time they played them, right? Cameron Brink got injured, and Brown. Oh, I'm forgetting her name. Point guard, D. Brown's
Lexi.
daughter, Lexi. Good old Lexi. Lexi is now out dealing with Crohn's disease. I hope she gets better. Now she
Yeah.
dealt with this last season. That's why she missed a bunch of time. So prayers to her. Love to see her on the court. So I'm hoping she just gets better for herself. And they've shuffled the lineup. They've done a bunch of different things. So you're like, okay, they're trying to figure out this new dynamic that they have to play with. So they're going to be a bit discombobulated. They've lost 8 straight. We should get one here. Nope. That damn Derica Hamby and her Super Bowl. And it matriculates to the rest of the team. They just get pumped. And it was a great game. I got to give it to them, to both teams. They played some great ball. They battled. But the Sparks, it's something about playing Vegas. And this might be a thing going forward. And I hope it is, because it's fun to watch. Right? We talk about team rivalries. And like right now, people say like the Aces and the Liberty are kind of rivals, but they're in different conferences. They don't play each other that much. But the Aces and the Sparks, they're both in the West. They're just like an hour of flight away from each other. And you saw the atmosphere of the crowd from that game. Like there was a bunch of Aces fans there and they were cheering, and the Sparks fans got into it, and it got loud and rowdy in there, loud and rowdy. And it was just awesome. So if this is going to be a thing going forward, I'm all for it. Let them be rivals. Let them go at it. I just need the Aces to pull it out. But it was fun stuff. And then they bounce back. They come back. They play Washington. Bounce back game. We talked about Asia setting the record. Alicia Clark's birthday. She was out there balling, doing her thing. Crowd was electric. And it's funny, the last time the Aces played the Wings, if you remember, that was when Asia got beat the crap beat out of her by all those bigs, and she had a scratch on her face and her nose was bleeding, and oh my gosh, it was just ugly. But this time, thank God, there was no incidents like that. Good, clean game for her, and Aces got the win. They got back on track. So let's see what goes from here.
Yeah. You have any players, shining star players that you want to talk about, that you want to give their flowers to? If so, before you do, I see Dawn already got in there, but if you want to get into, it's dark. Hold on, let me turn on some lights in here. Let's see if I can get past the glare now. Kind of. Put the camera in it. All right. Well, you get the hint here. We got Coach Becky Hammond, the GOAT herself. Color match. Hashtag WNBA to get into the giveaway, or else it's all Dawn's and she'll collect it at the end. So good luck. Good luck to you, Dawn. It might just be yours. But yeah, any shining star players that you want to talk about? The ones on my list, I already gave flowers to. Hamby, Carrington. I know I talked about her being an all-star snub and gave her kudos for just she's just so fun to watch. And like I said, just a great player, both ends of the floor. But yeah, any shining stars you want to give some flowers to?
We already talked about her. I just want to focus on Kennedy Carter. I think she's going very under the radar, and I mentioned it earlier, kind of jumped the gun on this, but like I said, since she's become a starter, she's averaging over 20 points a game. And that's a big thing, right? If you look at the stars of this league, your Nafisa Colliers, your Asia Wilsons, Arike Agumake, these are people that are scoring over 20 points a game, and they're doing their thing. And she's in that conversation now of being one of those players. And there was a clip that came out, and I should have grabbed it and sent it to you, of Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi talking years ago when they were at Team USA and they played the college kids, and there was like, all right, if there's anyone in this draft class that you think is going to be rookie of the year or be a problem, who would it be? And Sue Bird was like, Kennedy Carter, like no hesitation.
Yep.
She said Kennedy Carter. She was like, when we played them, no one could guard her. And she was like, and coach told me, yeah, go guard her. And I was like, what? I can't guard her. So like Sue saw it back then, and a lot of people did. I mean, this is the reason why she was the 4th overall pick in the draft. And I do believe she was rookie of the year that year. If I'm not mistaken, man, the memory's going, but she's doing her thing, and people need to really take notice of that. And I know they're going to take that one incident that happened earlier in the year and try to cloud things, but just look at what she's doing on the court, and it's been nothing but positivity since then. Yeah. And we just talked about it. Their coach is the one leading the way on that. So that's the only one for me.
I like it. All right. So the last couple things before we get out of here. They announced today that Megan Gustafson is headed to Paris Olympics, but not with the rest of the team. She's going to be on the Spanish national basketball team playing for them. So I just wanted to shout out her because, that's a huge accomplishment. Obviously, just because it's not for the U.S., that's a huge accomplishment to play for your country regardless, exactly. Right? So shout out to her for that. And then I wanted to play this clip from Kate Martin because I love this. And I listened to this before, specifically that game against the Fever at T-Mobile. And every game since then, actually every home game since then, I've listened for it. And I thought that this was just happening when Kate Martin checks into the game for the first time, like the first time that she comes off the bench. Like the crowd goes crazy when they announce that she's to the game. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like they usually, clap it up for whoever's coming into the game, their first time off the bench, whatever. But, I started to pay attention, and every time she goes to the bench and comes back into the game and they announce that she's checking back into the game, the crowd goes crazy.
It's the same reaction. Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. And, like to have that kind of pull, I guess, like as a rookie, like on a team that's full of superstars, right? Like they could be doing that for any player on the team.
Yeah.
And they do, like I said, when they first check into the game, but every single time she checks into the game, like, is pretty amazing. And like such a welcoming, like for a rookie, like who wouldn't want to play there when you're getting welcomed like that? So let me find this.
I noticed that the other day too, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And we know she's a crowd fan. I mean, her jersey sold out, for Christ's sake. They couldn't keep them in stock. So that goes to show you how popular she has become. And like I said, she's just a rookie coming off the bench. She doesn't even start.
For someone that didn't even think she'd be drafted,
Yeah, was just there to support her teammate.
I
Turn the
feel really
volume up.
grateful to I feel really grateful.
That's
I
a
feel
lot of the ghosts. All right.
I feel really grateful to be in the position I'm in, and I honestly did not expect to have like any fans when I came here. Like I had no expectations in that sort of way, and I think fans liked that. I don't know. I don't really get it, honestly. If I'm being honest, at the end of the day, I don't get it, but I feel super grateful for it. And so it gives me a little bit of confidence. It makes me feel good when I hear the fans cheer for me when I'm checking in. So like I really appreciate that. But more than anything, it's just a testament to the fan base that Las Vegas has. Like we had a great fan base at Iowa, yes, but Las Vegas people, they want to support the WNBA. They want to support their women's basketball team here. And we have, football and hockey and women's basketball. And the fact that we get, sold out games and so many fans to come and cheer us on, it doesn't really matter what time of day it is, what day of the week, we're going to have fans that show up. So that's just super cool that I got brought into a team that has such a good fan base.
There you
So
go.
yeah, shout out to Kate Martin. Like awesome, just all around story. Like I said, from going from someone that didn't even think they'd be drafted to like she wasn't even the first rookie drafted to this team, and to be the only rookie left standing from the draft. At one point was the first bench, player coming off the bench, like in her first couple weeks. Like she's already the first player coming off the bench. Yeah. So just and you see it, like all the fans, like you see the Kate Martin, the number 20 jerseys just flooding the place. Like you said, they're sold out. The little girls, they all are holding their jersey out there, their signs for Kate to come sign them. And she does, like this team, all the girls on this team are so good. Like that's one thing I love is, we talked about Asia, that she stays and does her, autographs and stuff, but really, from top to bottom, from the star in Asia to the last bench player, like they all are so good with the fans and take time with the kids and sign autographs. And like, it's such a pleasure to have this team here.
Oh yeah. It's definitely,
All right.
I want to say the team that made Vegas, but they're the team that made Vegas. Like a breeding ground for other pro teams. Like, oh, this is what it could be like. Oh, we need more here. Most definitely. Because they definitely paved the way.
Yep, I agree. Congrats, Dawn. You are the winner. Already got your name on it.
Way to go, Dawn.
I know that was a hard battle for you, but
hard fought battle.
All right, so last things, All-Star game, July 20th. So All-Star against the Olympic team. We showed you the teams. Tune in. Aces. Oh, also as well, tomorrow we as well talked about Liberty versus the Sun, the two number 1 teams, both 17-4. So make sure you check that out. It's definitely going to be a good game. I saw Don asked about, are the games only on Vegas channels? Really, we hardly have any games at all on Vegas channels. They're all blacked out if it's on a Vegas channel. But the Aces play a lot on they'll be on ESPN. They'll be, if you have Amazon Prime, there's games they play on Amazon. So sometimes it's on the WNBA app. It really just depends. I have to pull the game up each day in the WNBA app when they play to see where the game's going to be. And plan accordingly. So that's how you have to do it. There's no set place like that the games are on. Unfortunately, they're kind of all over the place. But the 8th is the next up. They have the Storm. So Seattle Storm on July 10th.
Tomorrow.
3 road games. The Aces play in a row, and then they come home for a home game on July 16th. And then that's their last game until August 17th. So exactly a month and 1 day, there will be no basketball because of Olympic break. So, the Aces players, obviously they have 4, and now with Megan, so 5 that'll be off playing in the Olympics. The rest will just train and sip cocktails. I don't know what they really do for the month, but they have a nice little break there. For some people, like much needed, we talked for the rookie class, especially, they haven't got no break. They played college ball, they got drafted and straight into the WNBA, and playing they came. So definitely a much needed break for those, for the rookies. But there's some teams that are injury riddled, and they could use this time to get back some of their, to get healthy, to get back some of their players. So we got 4 more games coming up for the Aces, and then break. Hopefully we can close out these last 4 games strong. I would like to win all 4 if that's possible, but like I said, 3 are on the road. So
you just never know. Right.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts? Tell the people where to find you, all that good stuff.
Yeah. It's in the chat. I mean, not in the chat, in the description. Go there, click the links, do what you do, like and subscribe. Just make it happen, people. Support. That's all it's about. Just supporting. Like, that's all I want to say. I saw people asking where the games are played. You can see them on ESPN and ABC. Amazon Prime also shows games. The CBS Sports Network shows games, and also ION, which I have no idea what ION is, but they stream games as well.
I own your ass.
Yeah. If you have a local team or a team near you, it'll stream on a local network sometimes. But other than that, just hook up with the WNBA app. And if you want to pay for League Pass, you get all the games and do that. It happens. It's cool. It's fun to watch. But no, 4 games left, then the break. So hopefully they win these games and stay healthy and go into the break. And we can cheer on the Olympic team, watch them do their thing, and then come back from the break and make a run for the championship. It should be a fun end to the season. But let's get these 4 games. Have a dub in our pocket first. What up, John V?
What's up, John V? What's up, Corona? I see y'all. Appreciate everybody that came through, stopped by in the chat to say hey, those that hung out with us from beginning to end, those that watch back on replay. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already. And we'll be back next week. Not the same time, because we'll be back to our normal schedule. So we'll be back next week on Monday. But we'll be here. Remember, I'm doing good, David. Hope you are as well. John V putting deers in the chat. I'm seeing that. I'm looking at that deer and I'm like, what the hell? And that's why I stopped, because I saw that and he said, shit, that's a deer, not a goat.
Wrong emoji.
Look, let me put it up here for those watching back on replay so you know. So he puts Ryan Ty and puts a freaking Rudolph next to it, like during Christmas. Then he says, shit, that's not a deer. That's a deer, not a goat. I can't stand your ass, I swear. All right, but back surgery August 1st. Oh man. Dude. I hope everything goes well. Hope surgery goes well. Exactly. I definitely am all too familiar about a bad back and have my own back surgery coming up soon. So I feel you 100% on that.
What the heck is going on with the faithful?
Having a bad back is terrible fucking thing.
We got to make an injured list for the faithful now.
We're all
That's a different podcast. That's a different podcast.
All right. We're out of here. Remember, if you can see her, you can be her. Get those ladies on your TVs. Let your kids see them play. Let your little girls know that it's possible to grow up and play sports. It's not just a boy thing anymore. The girls, we get to have some fun too. We don't get to just have babies and work as some desk job anymore. We get to do cool shit now. But they don't know that if they don't get to see the girls playing and know that it's possible. So you got to put it on your TV. You got to let the little girls see those ladies playing. There's so many awesome sports too. It's not just the WNBA. You know, you have women's soccer, pretty much even football now.
Sport, man.
Yeah,
Football,
anything you can think
hockey.
of. So yeah, get it
Doing
on
it
the
all.
TV. Very important that, you know, and it's very important that you just support the ladies on TV regardless. But it's very important to the little ones. Let them know that it's possible to live their dreams, to dream big, and one day reach those dreams. Until next time, we're out of here. Yeah.
Deuces.
Peace.